I had the day off, which was rare, and I planned to keep it as normal and uneventful as possible. No uniform, no radio buzzing on my shoulder, no calls to respond to, just me, a hoodie, a pair of jeans, and a simple grocery list. It felt good to blend in for once, to walk into a store without people stiffening up or whispering when they recognized who I was. The parking lot was half full when I pulled in. Nothing unusual. I grabbed a cart and headed inside, the automatic doors sliding open with that familiar hum. The store smelled like fresh bread and cleaning products, the kind of scent that somehow makes everything feel routine and predictable. I moved through the aisles slowly, taking my time. Milk, eggs, vegetables, some chicken, a few frozen items. I even grabbed a couple of snacks I probably didn't need. It was one of those quiet moments where life felt almost normal, where I wasn't thinking about reports, complaints, or emergencies. By the time I reached the checkout lines, my cart was full. I picked a line that looked like it would move quickly and waited patiently, scrolling through my phone for a minute. That's when I noticed him. A kid, maybe 14 or 15, standing a few feet away. He wasn't with a parent, at least not that I could see. He kept looking at my cart, then at me, then back at the cart again. There was something off about the way he stared, too bold, too expectant. I didn't think much of it at first. Kids do weird things all the time. I looked away and focused on the line moving forward. But then he walked right up to me. "You need to give me your groceries," he said, like it was the most normal request in the world. I blinked, genuinely thinking I had misheard him. "I'm sorry. My mom said I can take them," he replied, completely serious. "You have more than enough." For a second, I just stared at him, trying to process what he had just said. I even glanced around, half expecting someone to jump out and laugh like it was some kind of prank. But no one reacted. No one was filming. It was just this kid, standing there waiting for me to hand over everything in my cart. "Kid," I said calmly, "that's not how this works. You can't just take someone else's groceries." He frowned, clearly annoyed. "Yes, I can. My mom said so." There it was again, confidence, not hesitation, not embarrassment, just pure entitlement. "And where's your mom?" I asked. He pointed toward the front of the store. Standing near the customer service desk was a woman in her 40s, arms crossed, watching us like she was supervising a transaction. The moment our eyes met, she gave me a tight, expectant smile, like she was waiting for me to comply. I let out a slow breath and turned back to the kid. "Go tell your mom I said no." His expression changed instantly, like I had just insulted him. Without another word, he spun around and marched back to her. I could have ignored it. I should have ignored it. But something about the situation felt off, and I wasn't about to let it escalate without understanding what was going on. Within seconds, the woman started walking toward me, her heels clicking loudly against the floor. People in nearby lines began to notice. You could feel the shift in the air, that subtle tension when something is about to go wrong. She stopped right in front of my cart and looked me up and down with a mixture of judgment and irritation. "Excuse me," she said sharply. "Why are you refusing to help my son?" I raised an eyebrow. "Help him?" "Yes," she snapped. "He told you what I said. You clearly have more than enough food. It's only fair you share." I almost laughed, but the seriousness in her tone stopped me. She wasn't joking, not even a little. "I'm not giving your son my groceries," I said, keeping my voice steady. "If you need food, you can get your own." Her face tightened, like I had just personally offended her. "That's incredibly selfish," she said loudly, making sure people around us could hear. "People like you are the problem with this community." I could feel eyes turning toward us now. A few people whispered. Others just watched, waiting to see what would happen next. "Ma'am," I said calmly, "this isn't a community issue. This is you asking for something that doesn't belong to you." Her son stepped closer, crossing his arms like he was backing her up. "You don't even need all that," he added. "You're just being greedy." I took a breath, reminding myself to stay patient. I've dealt with worse situations, far worse. But this one was different. This wasn't anger or desperation. This was entitlement. "I'm going to say this one more time," I said, looking directly at her. "I'm not giving you my groceries. Please leave me alone." For a moment, I thought that might be the end of it, that she would huff, maybe throw an insult, and walk away. Instead, she pulled out her phone. "Fine," she said. "If you won't cooperate, I'll call the police." That caught the attention of almost everyone nearby. A few people exchanged looks. Someone let out a quiet laugh, probably thinking she was bluffing, but she wasn't. She dialed, turned slightly away, and started speaking loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Yes, I'd like to report a man refusing to comply with a community request," she said. "He's being aggressive and causing a disturbance." I almost shook my head. I had seen people exaggerate before, twist stories to get their way. But this was something else entirely. I could have stopped her. I could have pulled out my badge right then and there, ended the whole thing in seconds. But I didn't. Instead, I waited, because sometimes, the best way to handle a situation is to let people fully commit to their actions. She ended the call and looked at me with a smug expression. "They're on their way," she said. "Let's see how you explain this." I nodded slowly. "Yeah," I replied. "Let's see." The next few minutes were quiet, but tense. The cashier didn't say much, clearly unsure how to handle the situation. People kept watching, pretending not to. Her son stood beside her, occasionally glancing at my cart like it was already his. Then, finally, the doors opened. 2 officers walked in, scanning the area before heading straight toward us. I recognized them immediately. Good officers. Professional, reliable. They didn't recognize me. Not yet. The woman waved them over dramatically. Officers, thank goodness you're here, she said. This man is refusing to cooperate and being extremely difficult. One of the officers turned to me. Sir, is there a problem here? I met his eyes, keeping my expression neutral. That depends, I said. What exactly were you told? The woman jumped in before he could respond. He's refusing to give us his groceries, she said. We asked nicely, and he became hostile. The officer looked confused. Ma'am, he's not required to give you anything. Her confidence faltered for just a second, but she quickly recovered. Well, he should be, she insisted. We have an HOA and we believe in sharing resources. He's violating that. That was new. I let out a quiet breath, then reached into my pocket. Officer, I said calmly, pulling out my badge and holding it where they could see it clearly. Everything changed in an instant. Their postures straightened, their expressions shifted from neutral to shocked recognition. Chief, one of them said, almost under his breath. The woman blinked, confused. Chief, what do you mean, Chief? I lowered my badge slowly, my gaze still on the officers. Care to explain the situation again? I asked. The store went completely silent, and for the first time since this started, the woman's confidence disappeared.